back in China. There she is, top middle of that left-hand photograph. She was no different to most children, big goals and dreams, desires, wanted to have a better life, and unfortunately for her, being able to achieve that in China was hard, it was difficult. So she did what most industrious children would do, get a great education, go to university. That will get you a better lifestyle. But unfortunately for Susan, that didn't get her what she wanted. And she made the very bold decision with her husband Jimmy to leave China and to look for a better life somewhere else. And she ended up coming to Australia. And here was someone highly educated, been to university, great credentials, that now, all of those years in China, spending time towards getting that education meant nothing in Australia. She now started all the way back down at the bottom again. That better life was looking at a long way away. She worked as a waitress, she worked as a secretary, she worked in very basic jobs, working her way up to try and find that better life. Eventually, Susan and her husband Jimmy started a computer business. That was a pretty good move back in the 90s. Everyone wanted a laptop and software, and she was able to generate enough money to live a good life, to send her children to university, but she was working 80 hours a week, some days going without sleep to be able to build this business strong. It wasn't the life that she wanted. And then everyone here in the room no longer wanted a laptop. You all wanted iPads, you all wanted iPhones, smartphones, and so her business started to fail. And that was when she looked at reinventing herself and coming into this industry. So Susan came along to an event, not as big as this. It was like a Discover Jeunesse in Sydney back in 2012, I think that photo was. Can you see a little bit of yourself there in that photo? This was at the end of the meeting, having a photo next to one of the banners, thinking, you know what, this sounds really good, it scares me, I hope I can do it, I'd like to achieve a better life, maybe it will work. You know, Susan was, you can see the anxiety there on Susan's face, worried that maybe she didn't know exactly how to do it, but she was going to give it her very, very best shot. And that's exactly what Susan did. But her business didn't happen quickly. Do you know, over a period of 2 years plus, she went through a whole lot of ups and downs. Points where she almost quit, challenges that we all face. And after 1 whole year in the business, she wasn't earning any money. In her second year, she really wasn't. She was making a little bit of money. She'd become a sapphire. How many people here in the room would keep persisting after 2 years? Do you know most people quit in less than 6 months in this industry? How many people out there are diamonds that never became a diamond because they decided to quit? You know, Susan kept going. And after 2 years, she started to get a few results. She saw this picture that I would put up each and every presentation that I did, demonstrating what you could achieve. It was my first diamonds in Jeunesse that hadn't had great success or much experience in this industry before, but they'd become a diamond. Here we were in Tahiti celebrating what we had achieved. Susan, after seeing this picture so many times, came up to me at the end of a presentation and said, you know what, I want to be able to do that too. And I threw out the challenge to her that if she worked very hard, if she kept building, kept getting better, that in 18 months, Jeunesse was going back to Tahiti for another diamond experience. And if she was able to become a diamond, I would take another picture like this, but there's a little bit of room on the end of that picnic table for another diamond. And Susan, honestly, I've got to be honest, I didn't think she could do it. I threw that challenge out there, but I honestly didn't think she could do it. And I'm ashamed to say that, but true. The good thing is Susan didn't know that. She thought she could do it. She didn't know exactly how, but she was going to give it her everything. And in Susan's 4th year in this business, she started the year as a Sapphire Elite, at 100 cycles in the month. She finished the year in December, a hard month to have a big month, as a Diamond, where she did 1,700 plus cycles in her first Diamond month. And, whoop, sorry Susan, I'll do it once. She ended up coming to Tahiti. And that was pretty exciting because I could remember when Susan would first start to build her business. I would get her to come up and share her testimony at the end of the meeting. Do you know public speaking is scary? Yeah. Susan would share her story holding the microphone and you'd swear she was holding a snake. Scared, nervous, but doing her very, very best. Now today things have changed just a little bit because Susan has experienced that personal growth. So Susan now, yeah, she's nervous. We all get nervous when we come on stage, but she comes up here with a presence knowing that she has a message that can impact and change people's lives here in the audience. She has courage. And I find that, very, very inspiring. Susan has spoken all over the world, conferences. I love this particular photo because, whoops, there we go. That was Susan sharing her story in front of 15,000 people in Macau. Now remember Susan standing in front of that banner, 5, 6 years before, nervous, wondering whether she can do it. If Susan can do this, anyone here in the room can do it also. So guys, should we ask Susan some questions? Yes. See, her life's changed just a little bit because she's been to Tahiti, Bora Bora. She can't even swim. But that didn't stop her getting in the water. She's got some new cars. And she's also very determined to be able to work with people in her team, to be able to help them do exactly what she's been able to do. So let's welcome to the stage, Susan Lamb. Now, I'm going to give Susan the microphone. Actually, I've got a spare one over there. We'll see whether that works. But just before I do, have a look at this picture on screen. This is one of my absolute favourite photos. You know why? Because in this industry, one thing that I love about this industry the most is relationships. I love people. I love making friends. I love travelling. I love having adventure. Susan ended up becoming one of my best friends, someone that I met in a coffee shop in Sydney, introduced to me. Here we are, holidaying in Tuscany, and we're talking about the business, what's happened over the past few years, and the fact that she never, ever gave up. And there Susan's thinking about all of those people that said she couldn't do this, that said she didn't have the skills, didn't have the capability. And look at her now. She's done it in style. So here's Susan. Grab this microphone just after I give Susan the first question. I want everyone to kind of take a little bit of Susan's wisdom with you. As I said, Susan can do this. Anyone here in the room can do it also. So I'm just going to start with a question, Susan. Can you tell everyone, go right back to the beginning, why you decided to join Jeunesse?
Well, you can see, when Lyndon introduced all the journal I have. Does anyone want a better life like this? Yes. That was my decisions to get into Jeunesse. So the number one, why I choose Jeunesse is a platform. This is a really global business, can help us to reach our life goal. It is leads a future trend of the business, the global movement. So I did research on a lot of platform, and Gen X is the one I believe it can change my life. The number second was the product Gen X provided. It is the stem cell technology research or DNA repair. It is a cutting edge technology. It can help a lot of people improve their health and a good quality life. The number three, I like travel. So I like the compensation plan, the full package of compensation plan. It not even get us to getting healthier, younger, quality life, traveling the world, and you also have the money to helping others. So I love this platform can helping thousands and thousands of people like me have a dream. The number four is very important. It is I met a great mentor because I don't have experience in this industry. I have no idea where I can get somewhere. But if I have not such great mentor to willing to help me along the way, I won't be happy today. So I would like to thank.
Well, Susan, if you go back to the beginning, you've obviously researched the company, you've seen that there's great products, the technology, people need these. Tell us about the first month getting started. Like, how did it all come together? How did we end up meeting?
Well, we met you in the coffee shop, and you can imagine one of the people like me have no experience in this industry, and my English is not good, and I think Lyndon's never working with the Chinese, and then his Mandarin is not good too.
My Mandarin is terrible.
So I have to understand what he's talking about this business. So I said a very bad, a big group of the people, and I'm very shy actually. I've been brought up and also educated. I'm a very shy person, so I just said that in the coffee shop, and I let all the other people to talk to him. But by the end, I understand what he's talking about the business because he has about 25 years experience in this industry, was a top earner in the industry. So he has spent about 3 years to research for this company. And I know, okay, I have to follow the successful people because I've been witnessed so many people failed in this industry. They jump on 2 years in one company, jump in 2 years in the other company. I can't see many people successful in this industry. I wasn't sure I will be the one, same as them. So that's why, I said, yes, that is the platform.
And going back then, I can remember the person who sponsored Susan was a lady that I had tried to enroll for more than 10 years. If you've got someone like that you've tried to enroll, it's not coming off, and you go back and back, follow up, fortunes in the follow up. 10 years, and I finally enrolled this lady who set up this meeting in the coffee shop. It was about 10 people. Susan was the last person I spoke to. And she kind of made an impression on me because she told me that she had hired a coach to help her become a better networker, to be good, in English. Tell people a little bit why you got that coach back then.
Well, because he was in this industry for about a long time, and he actually taught me how to identify a company. So because I really want to change my the career to get a retirement platform. So I have no way because all I can see the people in this industry, as I mentioned before, was fail. So I want to find an expert person to help me to analyze, identify a good company. So that's why he introduced my sponsor to me.
And going a little bit forward, has anyone here in the room had a sponsor who ended up quitting. And you kind of orphan. I see a lot of people putting their hands up in the room. I can remember moving forward, Susan, you've enrolled. A couple of months later, you give me that phone call to let me know that your sponsor had quit. Tell me a little bit about how that made you feel at the time.
Well, it's anyone like that situation. So you had a coach tell you a good company, and he introduced the sponsor to you, and then about a few months later, they left together to the other companies, and also took about half of your team to jump onto the other company. What is your feel? We're going to quit. So what is my feel? I'm going to quit, right? So I was thinking about, oh, how can I do it? I don't have that belief. For sure, I can do my own, continue to get somewhere in this industry. I don't have that confidence. So the goodness for me, I'm so fortunate. I make a phone call to Lyndon because he lived far away from me. He's in Queensland, I'm in Sydney, and was very frustrated. Now what can I do? And I told my husband, okay, I love the genus, I love the product, I love the platform, I love this one, but I'm sure this platform is the right platform for me. And I want to success in this industry, and I want to be, in this company in somewhere. I want to be. So I said, we want to let him to pay attention to us. We needed to become the Sapphire. So quickly, 3 months, we get to Sapphire. And I call Lyndon. I need help. I don't want to leave in this company. I need someone to mentor me, to take me somewhere. And I want to thank you are coming to the right time to help me, to hold my hand all the way until I become diamond. Thank you.
I remember that phone call very clearly because, it took a lot of courage. Susan rang to say that, her sponsor had quit, and I'd watched, a new person to the industry toil, work away, had become a Sapphire. She was working very hard, but to then have her sponsor quit and then take half of her team away to another network, to then think, well, is this what I'm meant to do? I've put in on months of effort, and this is what's happened. And Susan had that moment where she was thinking, do I quit? I asked her this question because I loved that she told me early on that she was getting a coach. Does that show to me a level of commitment? Yeah. It shows a lot of qualified interest. Here's a new person so determined they're prepared to invest in getting a coach to become their best in this industry. I said, Susan, tell me about your coach. I knew who the coach was. How much is this coach charging you? And she said $1,000 a month. I get a phone call every Friday or whenever it is. And I made a statement during this call that I'm quite proud of, actually. I said to Susan, I'll make you a deal. If you fire that coach and invest that $1,000 a month back into your business, I will coach you for free.
Anyone want that? So I'm the fortunate one. I have that the world top industry leader to coach me for free.
And I tell you what, after I made that statement on the phone, I hung up the phone. I think the first thing I said to myself was, oh shit, what have I done? Because I knew this was going to be difficult. But sometimes we have that gut feeling, that little bit of intuition that you're doing the right thing. And I thought, whether this didn't come off or not, it's the right thing to do. And Susan started to move forward. So tell me, you're now Sapphire, you haven't got lifestyle, you're not earning the income that you want for a better life. Over those next 2 years, it took a while for you to have success. So 2 years on from when I started to become her mega coach, she's not having success. Most people would have quit thinking that, well, the coach isn't doing a good enough job. Tell people about what were the hardest challenges that you faced getting to the point that you're becoming successful. You know, what were the things that really you struggled with the most?
Well, I think the common things for us is because if we don't have that experience in this industry, we have no clue what to do. So sometimes, you know, it will be struggling. So how can I do it? How can I get it? So the very important thing, it is learning. You have to learn what is this industry means. What is the company can, in the background, you know, why you trust in this company. Why the product can get you to very passionate. It can helping a lot of people improve their health. Why this company, their compensation plan can change our life. So that is the number one, learning process. So I attending a lot of events. I didn't missing any events since the first day I'm in gymnast. So
Sorry to cut in there, Sue. That's a good point because so many people have that attitude, you know, that small attitude that, well, I don't know that I'll go to this event because I haven't got a guest. So they decide not to go themselves rather than saying, well, I haven't got a guest, but I'm going to go anyway because I might learn something new. Sorry, Susan, you keep going.
So the second, it is you have to improve our leadership skills. So along the way we're learning how the successful people, they become a good presenters, they become the good leaders, they become the, you know, the top, leading the world, that leadership skills. So personal development is very important for us if we want to be successful in this industry. So number three, you have to become the product of the product. So you have a good using another product. You know, you can see how I changed it from that time. You know, the photo in the computer shop. I was having wrinkles. I have a age spot and the yellows. You know, it's ugly at that time. So when I tell people, so this one's a cutting edge technology, you know, this one can help you looking younger, feel younger. But when you see that face, the people have no confidence, right? So I have to change myself. I have to change it. Okay, change. So you can see looking me today is younger than the 10 years ago, right? Yeah. So that is the people, you know, that passionate about. Emotion attached about. So the people say, yeah, Susan, you changed it. So that has a lot of people coming to the business. So when your all the skills improved, you are able to talk to the good quality, communicate with the good quality of people, and you can enrolling more people come into your teams. And the people passionate about product, they'll come into the team. That's
Absolutely. Good. And that was probably a really big thing that we saw with Susan's team in the beginning, was that, you know, your business is a little bit, your business kind of meets your own water level. You know, so if your level of leadership and skills and capability is fairly low, maybe you're new, you're just starting, you don't really know what you're doing, and you're out there trying to enroll people, you know, one of the challenges is that you tend to have success predominantly with enrolling people that are at your same water level. You know, so if your leadership capability and skills are low, you tend to enroll people that are struggling just as much as you're struggling. And this is why persistence is so important. If you can stay in this industry longer, what happens to your water level? It starts to increase. You're getting personal growth. You're starting to get more confidence, more capabilities. And all of a sudden, the people you're starting to enroll are meeting you at your water level. And so the people that Susan was enrolling in her second 2 years were far better quality people than in her first 2 years. Some of those people would not have enrolled with Susan in her first 2 years. And that's not a reason to quit, it's a reason to raise your water level. So, Susan, when you think about people within your team, You've had lots of people that have come and go. Most people quit in this industry, that's just the facts. What is some of the most common reasons why you lost people in your business that you knew had the capabilities of succeeding? What's some of the common reasons?
I think most of people, the number one, that left from the Gen S, they don't have a clear goal. They don't know what kind of life they want to. So they won't be able to have the plan, the business a plan in this company, because success is just a learning process. It's not one day it can become the diamond. You need to stay here long enough. The time being will bring you to the level you want. So the second is a lack of the focus. So because they don't have that plan, so they'll be here, all the noise outside, somewhere have quick money, some places can attracting them, so they'll be being sidetracked to everywhere, and they cannot success. The number three is that they don't have that belief in the industry, belief in the company, belief in themselves. So without a belief, so they don't have that faith to stay long enough to working until the success.
Absolutely. There are, the most successful people in this industry have the best reasons why they could have quit. That's just the truth. But they were successful because they never quit. So everyone's going to have those reasons to quit, but do you believe? Is this what you're meant to do? Susan, the photo behind, when you saw that picnic table, why did that drive you so hard? That was a real turning point in your business. Why did that inspire you?
Well, everyone like that? Yes. Is that beautiful? Yes. So my dreams, I want to travel in the world. And if I can be there, this platform can take me there. It not only means I'm being able to travel in the world, to see the world, it's also proof for us, because of qualify for the diamond trip. It's not only like an incentive reward trip. It's also you can reach your life goal. So that's why that is what I call is the standard for me to make sure I success already in this industry or in this company. It's not only help me to reach my lifestyle I wanted, it also means I can reach my life goal, and I'll be able to help my families, help other people's, help a lot of people's, and my life is more value.
Isn't that tremendous? There's a little bit of gold. If you're a great network marketer, the thing that drives you the most, okay, that picture's great. How can I provide more value for other people? That gives you a great sense of self-worth and value that you're making a difference, here in this world. I know that Susan's making a huge difference. So tell me a little bit more, or the audience, how your life has changed. You're a diamond. How has that been so different for you? Give some ideas to people how much diamond can change you.
Well, it is changing a lot. Okay, I just mentioned like the lifestyle I have. So I can be able to retire my husband. So is anyone, you have money, but you don't have a time, right? So you want to travel the world, maybe you are in the business, but your husband or your wife is still working to support your family financial, right? So you won't be able to traveling together. So now I'm be able to travel with my husband all over the world, and I don't need to ask someone to permission. Is that correct? Okay, the number second, I'll be able to take my daughter with me as well. I can let her as a young age to experience the different lifestyle if she wants. I can educate her If you have a great platform, you're working hard, you're persistent, consistent, and working there, it can equal this success or the lifestyle you want. The number 3, I will be able to financial freedom. I don't need to worry any of the money way, I need to working harder to get the money. And I've been financial support to helping the people. So I've been able to donations, do all the charity, programs or something like that. So I have done a few of them, So that is a life changes. So it's a value, it's a life value for me.
So you kind of think about that over just the last few years. Susan's never travelled. She's been to Tahiti, Switzerland, Italy, all around the world.
43 cities and countries altogether.
Pretty incredible.
Is that work?
She's gone from a situation of being a little bit invisible as far as who she is and what her capabilities are. Now she's on stage, she's very visible, isn't she? Sharing her story, inspiring people. Do you think that's made a difference with her children?
Yes.
Seeing a mum that's been able to do what she's been able to do. Everyone here in the room is capable of doing exactly the same thing. The difference is, don't give up. This is the number one reason that people fail in this industry, is that people choose to quit. The difference with Susan, she chose not to quit. It was a harder choice. She had so many battles. I could tell you battles that would bring tears to your eyes, anyone here in the room. But Susan did not quit. And because she didn't quit, I couldn't quit on her. She inspired me. Susan made me a better networker by the fact that her determination kind of said to me, I've got to raise my determination as well. This is someone that really ended up coaching the coach. So I thank Susan very much for that. So Susan, just finishing before we introduce our next speaker, what's the plans for your business in the future? You've got all the way to diamond. You've gone well above 2,000 cycles in a month in your record. It's a bit of a challenging period that you're having at the moment, because you have ups and downs even when you get to diamond. What's the future hold for you? Where are you going from now?
I'm very excited for the next chapter of Janice, and also the next chapter of me and my teams. In the past 10 years, we've been overcome so many challenges, and those challenges, those experiences actually help us to build a solid foundation. I have a great team, and I have so many of the great leaders here. And my goals is want to help them to reach their lifestyle they want, to help them to become the diamond. My goals in the next 5-10 years, I want to create 50 diamonds in my teams. My team has heard me, my mission and vision for this one for many times. Is it? Yes? But everyone now stay in the business, so they are not quitting. They are toward the goal they wanted. And I'll be there for them, to support them, to get them to somewhere they want for their life. The best is yet to come.
I've got one question for you all. Who got a little bit of inspiration out of this message? Who believes that if this brave lady on stage has been able to do it, who believes that they can do it too?
I think everyone can do it. I can do it. You can do it. Right?
That's what this whole presentation is all about, and taking that little bit of inspiration. I'm going to indulge you all for one quick photo with Susan. I love seeing Susan in front of a crowd of people. The public speaker that was never meant to be a public speaker. Is that okay?
Yes.
Can everyone stand up for me where they are? Susan, come over here. All right. I want you all to stick your hands up, wave them, and look like you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to introduce the next speaker.